The government are trying to deliberately mislead the Irish public and this House about their shameful failure to discharge their responsibilities under the Genocide Convention. On November the 22nd, People Before Profit brought a motion into this Dáil where we appealed to the government in that motion to discharge their responsibilities under the Convention, which, I remind the government, are not about holding Israel accountable after the fact of a genocide, but where we are legally obliged as signatories to prevent the commission of a genocide which is ongoing. The government voted that resolution down. That's the truth. Shockingly, when I raised it the week before, and it was the first time it was brought up in the Dáil, the government didn't know the difference between the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice, and gave excuses that related to the ICC, but didn't in any sense acknowledge their responsibilities under the Genocide Convention. At that point, there were 11,000 people murdered by Israel. There are now 25,000, 14,000 people more dead. There were 1 million people displaced at that time. There are now 2 million people displaced. 75% of all homes in Gaza have been destroyed. Israel is levelling Gaza. In front of the world, it is ticking every single box under the Genocide Convention for the Commission of Genocide, and every single government, including our own, who signed the Genocide Convention and has failed to act to stop this genocide and initiate proceedings and impose sanctions against Israel for the commission of genocide, should hang their heads in shame. It is absolutely outrageous. What good will the case be in 2 years' time when the genocide is happening now? It's outrageous. And then the government motion continues with the attempts to partially justify Israel's actions. It refers to hostages. It refers to hostages that are held in Gaza by Hamas. Doesn't mention a word about thousands of Palestinians held hostage by Israel, thousands of whom have been rounded up in the last 3 months, thousands of more who were held hostage in the system of administrative detention long before that, long before it. Not a word about them being released. Or 3 Irish citizens, at least that I know of, including Zakania, being held hostage in Gaza by Israel. What is the government doing about them? No reference to them either. Or dozens of families who are based here or citizens here who are trying to get their loved ones out. Israel is holding them hostage as well. What are you doing about it? Nothing. And then in relation to the ICJ, still talking about only possibly supporting the South African action and using all sorts of excuses to justify your failure. What has Germany done? They make a public statement saying they are backing Israel. The United States do the same, the UK do the same, and Ireland doesn't say we support South Africa's call for these measures and we commit to playing our part, and indeed that includes a requirement to take unilateral measures under the Convention to sanction a state and prevent them committing genocide. There will be thousands of people outside the Dáil tomorrow night before you're forced to vote again on this tomorrow night, and I would encourage the public to come out on those protests to force you to discharge your responsibilities to stop genocide.